Hey and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we'll look at the Volcan Power Station 300 watt. Other people call it 299 watt hours. And we will take a look at this little unit as well as its foldable 60 watt solar panel, which might be ideal for your next camping trip. Why I'm saying camping trip? Because I took it to a camping trip as well. What's delivered, what's in this kit, not only power station as well as the foldable solar panel, but also let's test what it's capable of, because it's, as you can see, similar size to my head. I can just lift it up, even with a little handle. By the way, we are talking about the Energon 300 here. Let's talk about the specification first. We'll do some testing, and then I want to talk about the foldable solar panel and this unit, because both I took on a camping trip. Let's get started. Great, the Volcan Energon 300. This one, sorry, it's already a little beat up because I was already testing it. And it is a nice casing. It's a nice different design, which you have probably not seen before. But that's also given most likely the fact that this one, Elite Power, French Design Gold Award. I would assume that's part of it. All right, going through the specs, which we can look up in this manual, which we received, but also on the box. Right there is also a portable power station specs sheet. Here you can see it. We have a battery, lithium iron phosphate battery, that's important for us. Battery capacity 299 watt hours and the rated power output 300 watt. And that's what we can get out of the AC power. And then going further down, we have a couple other in and outputs. Let me show you that on the device itself. So that means here on this side of the device, we can see there's a fan outlet or inlet, because on the other side is the same. I'll turn it in a minute. We do have a power save switch, toggle switch. We do have a power on switch. We have an LED, which is on this side. We'll get there as well. Then we have two USB-C outputs. We have USB-A. We do have a DC input and we have a DC output. Additionally, on the other side, we do have an AC output, and that's where the other fan blows out. And then we do have, when you look on the side of this device, we have an LED light here. When we turn it around, there's nothing, but it has those green bars, I guess. They're a little reflective. They don't light up as much as I saw it. So those are the sides. Going through the specification, therefore I would recommend you definitely, as always, look at the user manual, because it does come with a couple of information in there. So we have the net weight, 3.6 kilogram. We have the dimensions. It tells us that we have an ambient temperature range by charging -5 Celsius to 45 Celsius. And the ambient temperature range by discharging, that's what they call it, -10 to 45 Celsius. It has some certification. It mentions here on this page, this side, as well as below there we have some outputs. And talking about outputs, the AC output, which is, as I mentioned, on this side, this AC output has up to 300 watts, peak power 600 watts at 110 volts. Then we do have, on the other side, you saw that already, the USB-C and USB connections, and USB-C 1, which is the below one here, looks like, up to 60 watts. Then we have the other one, USB-C up to 18 watts. And then we have the USB-A quick charger, two of them, those two, up to 18 watts each. And then we do have the DC output, which are those two output connectors. They can deliver up to 120 watt max, I assume, combined. And then we do have the DC input, which is this one, which functions, you will see, the solar panel will plug in here, but also we will put in the wall outlet or the power supply they provided with this unit. Speaking of our power supplies, we have two different wires. We have this circuit lighter wire, which we can plug in, but also we do have this power supply here, which you can plug in your normal household outlet. And on the other side, we do have this connector, which means this connector goes straight in here, and then it can charge. But it also means we cannot charge solar and power outlet at the same time. So one or the other, because we only have one. And it can take up to 100 watt maximum. So that means when you have 299 watt hours, what do you think how long it takes? Correct, up to 3 hours. So additionally, we do have information about a battery, which means here you can see it, life cycle, lithium iron phosphate, and protection function, which is great to see that they have an over voltage protection, low temperature protection, overload protection, high temperature protection, over temperature protection. What is an over temperature protection? High temperature protection and over temperature protection, not sure. Under voltage protection, short circuit protection, that's good. Over current protection, so over voltage and over current protection, and disconnect protection, and a balance protection. There's a lot of information there. So turning it on, holding and pressing this middle button, and then we can see at one point it turns on, and then we have a little display there. So first thing you see here when I toggle this power save, there's a green LED up there which goes on and off. Power save is basically, when the power saving mode is off, that's how it is off. AC is enabled. It will stay powered on for 8 hours to ensure that low power appliances such as Bluetooth headset, electronic toothbrush, etc. could be fully charged. And when power save is on like this, it will disable the AC output and shut down at 2 hours if it is under low power load. That's good to know, right? What else? We have the LED here. It's on this side here. And so full on, less on. I believe that's an SOS, a descending. And then we have the flashing. Yep, that's what it is. Then off. When you're here turning it on, and now you don't want to have the SOS. You just hold it, press and hold it longer, and then it turns off as well. That's good. Yeah, those are basically everything for it. Here's a scheme, which I would highly recommend because here you can see the solar power. And speaking about solar power, this briefcase, as I want to call it, is the Volcan SOL 60 watt. And when you turn around, sorry, it's also a little dirty already because I used it. When you turn around, it is dust resistant. It looks like here is a pouch. So we can open this pouch. You can buy it, by the way, individually. Links in the description below for both. Still I have the gel. But what's included in this package is this DC power cable. And that's the one we will use to plug it into the station. But we also have this one. So let me turn it around. So we also have this unit, which I believe acts as a solar charge controller. So I haven't seen if this is a MPPT charge controller or a PWN, and I believe it's more like a PWN. You will see later the output, what it's capable of, or at least when I used it. Tests can vary, as you know. Before we fold it up, what is included besides the manual here? There's a USB connector here, as well as there's another quick charge 3.0, and there's a Type-C, and then the DC port up here. Which means you can also plug in your phones or whatever you want to charge with those connectors, as well with this little extension. That's one thing. You can additionally plug in the DC port, which is this one, to plug this entire unit panel into the unit back here, and then just go ahead and charge it. It's great, so you don't even have to use this. You can just take this little suitcase, which I believe it is kind of a 13-inch notebook size, which is small, really small. That's really refreshing. So you can just use it, take it, whatever you want to do. And they claim it's about 2.15 kilogram. And the cells, you will see when I open it, it's monocrystalline, so that's what it says. So 60 watt, up to 20 volts max. So yeah, let's see what we can do. By the way, warranty, they say it's up to 1 year, which is nice to see. A warranty period is 12 months. So I'm going to open it up real quick so you have an idea. You'll see it later in the video as well, because I took it on a camping trip. So when you look at those panels, that's what they really look. Sorry, it's still dusty because I, as mentioned, just took it. You have to clean it from time to time. But we do have 6 of those panels, the same size. It feels like it's kind of a European DIN A4 page of paper. That's what it actually looks like, which is quite funny. But they are flexible, so you can see I can fold it. I can fold it in any direction. I can set it up. I can hang it even, because it does come with those hooks They also provide 2 of those carabiner with it, so you could hang it, and you will see as well in the video. I want to take it camping, what you can actually do with it, which is great, because you want to always try to find the best possible sun. But it also gives you the importance that you set it up properly. Otherwise, you might, having maybe one side covered, it's not as stiff as a full solar panel, so it's more difficult maybe to setting it up, because always there are 2 or 1 of those little panels are bending down or something, just falling down. All those things can happen. So when you look here, I can just bend it like this. And then the angle is so important for sun. So when you have it set it up like this, sun is maybe hitting those more intense, or maybe those more intense, or maybe the other panels down here. That has a big influence in how much wattage you will get out of those panels. So that is crucial to how you set it up. Keep that in mind, please, because when you set it up and then you realize, oh, I have just 30 watts, that's like half. Its the efficiency is like so bad. Yes and no. It can be better. Give it some thought. Do some research how you set it up. Very important. But at the end of the day, you're just folding it together. It's that quick. Some Velcro down here, and that's it. And then you just go your way. So 4 small trips for camping, whatever you want to call it, for backpacking, for biking. You can take this unit. It's very helpful if you just want to charge your phone. This 60 watt will be really good to charge it, I'm pretty sure. Because, so my max I can say it already, it was 40 watts out of this panel. As I mentioned, I might have done it wrong. I might have set it up wrong. I might have left too early. But I always had between 30 and 40 watts of solar or of wattage produced by this panel. And I was able to either charge just this unit or maybe my phone directly. In my case, I took it camping, and there were some times in the evening when I was just sitting around. I didn't use my sleeping bag yet. I just want to cover myself, and I realized, oh, it's getting cold, right? Camping. So we do have, and here it comes, the 200 watt MyHeat heater. Oh, here it is. Now you can see it. This little heater is available on Amazon as always. Pretty cheap, and it only consumes 200 watt. So that means having this little power station with 300 watt output will work perfectly fine. We turn this fan on. There's just a little click. You will see here on the display, AC is on. So that means I'll go ahead and plug this in. And because it is how it is, I have to turn it on, this unit. Turning it on. So now we can see it is starting to blow the fan. I can feel it's getting warmer. And what also is happening, this unit is reaching more than 200 watts. Why is that? This AC outlet also needs power to fire it up, to convert the power from battery DC to AC power. So there's an inverter in there which is acting like that. So that's what's happening here right now. So when we let it run a little bit, you can already see this is heating up. So the heating elements inside are warmer already. They consume less power. The fan is blowing and it is consuming overall less power. And I believe the most important I have not mentioned. This one is having a pure sine wave inverter. So we're having 300 watt output and there's a peak of 600 watt. How long? I have no idea how long it can hold a peak, but I assume it's probably just 3 to 5 seconds max. But now you can see the percentage is dropping because we're using 200 watt. So when we have 300 watt pulling for 1 hour, this device would be empty. That's something to keep in mind. It is a small unit. It's an emergency unit for maybe charging a laptop, maybe being on a road trip or something, and you always have time and capability to recharge this maybe in the sun or maybe in a coffee shop or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. So right now we can see this is running, no issues, 188 watts. We are at 96%.
You can see the panel and also power station in action. Mounting or hanging is not a problem with the provided carabiners and the hooks. And you can see I was able to achieve 42 watts with the solar panel, as mentioned, depending on the angle and the sun. Just want to give you an overview here, and with a different setup, a different angle, and laying on the floor basically or on the ground, 32 watts with this kind of setup. So you can tell there is a difference in the angle and how the sun hits the panels. I was playing around how can I achieve the maximum possible, but at the end of the day you just, can fold it together, wrap it up, and it has a small form factor and fits, in your camping gear, in your car, or whatever you prefer or like. And everything you can store basically in this little pouch, which is water resistant as well. The zipper pretty well protected, the material is well made as well, and a little dusty, but it doesn't matter, you can just knock it off and that's it.
Let's plug in my phone, because usually you see if it's a rapid, quick charging or whatever it says. So I'm using the 18 volts outlets here when I plug it in. Now it says charging, so it's a slow in quotes charging. Quite interesting, because it only says it's pulling 6 watts, 7 watts. Maybe it needs to adjust a little bit, maybe it takes a little time. Let me plug it into the 18 over here on this side with the USB-C. And I'm plugging it in the phone, and now it says charging rapidly. And we see charging rapidly is building up with 10 watts instead of 6 or 7. 11, let it run, get my laptop ready. Now let's plug it into, with the same 18 watts, let's plug it into a MacBook. I don't believe it's super full, so now we see the PD kicked in on. Power delivery, 13 watts, 1110. I don't even know if it's on. 2023, oh, that's quite interesting, because I plugged it into the 18 watts. Okay, 27, okay, let's see. Going down to the 60. PD, turn it on. 41 watts, good. 42, need to reboot, sorry. So the drop is because I'm rebooting. I like that you can see there's a display, and the wattage is a very simple display. It has, I feel like everything you need to see, that's nice. What's also nice, you don't have to have the power on buttons here for those things, except for the AC, because the inverter kicks in. So I feel like that's not too bad. All right, it's a MacBook. Let me try a different machine. All right, we are using a Lenovo machine now. Lenovo. Plug it in. What can we see? Unfortunately, this one is fully charged, but we can see, oh, something's happening here. What's interesting, it's saying it's charging this machine. Unplug it, because I didn't put power back in. That's weird. I did not expect that the Lenovo ThinkPad would recharge. Oh, here you can see it. That it's recharging this device. So let's try it again. Let's try to pull some power. All right, now it looks like it's the other way. Okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, we're not getting way higher, but the machine was fully charged when I used it, as I said. Let's combine those machines, or let's combine the output a little bit. And let me turn on the heater. It would be boring if we don't do that. Let's see what it says. Peak is 600, so being above should be a problem. 340, now it's dropping. Nice. Now shouldn't be a problem at all, I believe. Let me get a battery charger on here as well. Let me use everything we have here. All right, look at that. Dang. Okay, let me turn this off real quick. See, we have 4 different USB chargers connected. Now we're getting to the test. We are pulling with the devices I'm having on here. Now 72. That's good. Let's start the heater. We're at 72, kind of base load. Now we're ramping up. 380, 378, okay. Then it should decrease. Nice, that was not an issue at all. Apologies for the noise. I'm having more devices now connected. As you can see back here, it's an expansion plug-in. So now we're pulling 41 with the fan, Let me turn on the heater, and we will wait for whatever is tripling in. I just want to go slightly above 300 and see if we can keep this. I don't want to overdo it with 600. We know already this will not work, but I think it's nice to see if we can at least have a steady 300 or something. So let me plug in everything we have in the USB. Let me plug in our USB-C to the notebook. Let me plug in the other USB-C to the notebook and see where we are ending up. 295, 290, 300. So now we are above 300, 310. Let's see how consistent and how long continuously we can pull the power. 320, oh, that's nice. It's chopping a little bit more. It's idling around that area. All depends on the notebooks, whatever's happening, how much power it's drawing. The fan is very consistent. It felt like also with the heater it's very consistent. We are above 300 continuously. It's nice to see. You know what? Would be boring if we're not connecting our solar panel from here on. Well, only thing which is a downside, this wire is not very long, so we have to stay in this area. But let me see if I can get a little solar in here. Still at 300, nice. Now you can see it changed to in, so we're getting maybe 1 watt, if at all, in, but it realizes, okay, there is something coming in, maybe less than a watt. Sorry about the noises, I'm right in between the fan, but I wanted to show you this. So yeah, let me close the panel again. Let me turn off the fan. It's still running. It's running strong. Actually, we are at 93 coming out here in this fan. So this back here, the AC is pulling the air in, going through here and then pushing it out. The hottest point probably, yeah. So it is warm up here a little bit. Not really warm, you cannot say that. 90 degrees, so that's fairly nothing. That's regarding this test. Let me know in the comments below what you think about a little unit like this. I feel like this is quality so far from what I've seen. Let me get you a few more close-ups, especially when you look up here. This handle, it's nice rubber handle. It's good. It makes a little sound. That's not big of a deal, I feel like. I do like the display. It is clear, it's easy to read, and then it's very sorted as well with those plugs down here. Then we have here on this side the Energon 300 sign, Volcan, and on the rear we have the AC outlet. We do have rubber feet down here, that's nice, so it has a solid stand, it's not making a lot of sound, and we do have a little information plate down here as well, so you're able to read it as well, what it is, like the pure sine wave, and then there's a QR code. And the last thing I did not touch base on, when it's on and you hit here this power button, you can change to DC power. So it means those DC outlets to now on 12 volt. All right, let's do the test if this is a real pure sine wave. I'll turn on the inverter. Nice. Oh, look at that. That is a pure sine wave. That is a really pure sine wave. I had an inverter up there, which definitely had some turbulences with the inverter, and had some turbulences and issues with the pure sine wave. This is a pure sine wave. You see there's nothing in between, nothing changing, it's pure, so that's great. All right, there we have the proof. Awesome to see this. I have to say, having the small little unit, power station, 300 watt hours like this, 299, apologies, it's great to have it, because you don't want to take always the big batteries with you, maybe not, but in case you're just car camping, maybe you're just out in the wilderness for 4 days or whatever, or 2 days or 3 days, and you don't want to have any power at all, you don't even need this one. But I think for emergency, being on a camping trip, being at home and having some kind of emergency for whatever reason, I mean, we are here in the US, there's always a power outage somewhere because it's a great grid. Anyways, but it's amazing what this little unit is capable of. I feel like it is a high quality unit, which I really enjoyed, and I would love to see a bigger unit of those ones. I feel like the manufacturer did really a good job. It's a consistent wattage. It gives you even more than 300 watts as output continuously. So that is something which I really enjoy. I mean, the display and measuring with an external watt meter, you saw it's very, very accurate, very close together, which is amazing. The only thing which is not super high efficient is probably the solar panel, but it highly, highly depends on you, in my case, me, to set up properly. And I think that's something where I struggled because it has 6 different sides. They're all flexible, which is amazing because you can lay it, you can hang it, but it makes it more difficult to get the best possible setting, at least for me. And then the sun is moving. Did you notice this? Oh, sorry, the earth is spinning. So it's difficult to capture the best possible. I got sometimes 40 watts. That was the maximum I've seen. As you saw it in the video, I got around 30, a little bit more. In general, I like this unit. Its quality-wise so well built. I like it. And I'm happy I was able to test it. And I'm happy to have this unit as well because it's just a little small footprint, including the solar panel. Both are in the description below. Let me know if you have any questions about this product. More than happy to answer those. As always, please like the video. And if you like me doing this kind of things as well, if you like me as a person, please subscribe to the channel. Maybe there's more stuff which is interesting to you. Browse through the videos, and I hope I earned it somehow. Thanks for watching. Cheers!